What's good, my people? Welcome to the film room. Myself, Mooncey, alongside three-time NBA champion, the point guard guru, Mr. BJ Armstrong, your favorite podcast duo. But today, we're doing something different. We're breaking down some film. Now, we all know Jayson Tatum is one of the league's elite scorers, but so far throughout the finals, he's yet to show that he can be the reliable 30-plus point scorer we know that he's capable of being. I'm Mooncey. I'm with the point guard guru, Mr. BJ Armstrong, and we're in the film room to break down what the Warriors have done to try and limit Jayson Tatum's game so far in the finals. Now, BJ, I'm going to show you a few clips of Jayson Tatum so far here in the finals, and I want to get your thoughts on them. The first thing that stands out to me is he's just stood in the corner, and the clock is winding down on the shot clock. You can see here, there's about 10 seconds left to go, and then he finally gets the ball with 8 seconds remaining, and he stood still, he's stationary. So now he's got 8 seconds to create a shot for himself or for a teammate, and then with 6 seconds to go, he's all the way back by the logo. So create something now with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He tries to get it going off the dribble. He drives into Andrew Wiggins. As you can see here, there's not a lot of space. Marcus Smart is wide open. And in the first game, we saw him facilitate a lot. He was trying to get himself going here in game number 4, but he ends up turning the ball over and just driving recklessly and committing the offensive foul. Then we move on to the second clip, as you got Jayson Tatum once again, guarded by Nemanja Bjelica. Now, if you're an elite scorer in this league, with all due respect to Nemanja Bjelica, this has got to be barbecue chicken. But instead, he sees Draymond Green coming up to help a little bit from the baseline. And what stands out here for me is the rest of the Celtics are stationary. Again, they're all stood still. Nothing's going on. Tatum tries to pass the ball across 4 defenders to the corner, turns the ball over. The Warriors get out in transition. Here's a clip from earlier in the series. Jayson Tatum once again driving to the hoop, trying to draw the foul rather than finish. That's what I would say on this, because look at where he picks the ball up. And he's got it right there out in front of him. This is like a James Harden kind of vibe for me, trying to get to the free throw line. And that allows the Warriors to once again get out in transition, where we know they're so lethal, because Jayson Tatum's not even back in the picture. He's there trying to get the foul. He's not on the screen right now. Look, there's 4 Celtics back. The Warriors, by the time Jayson Tatum re-enters the camera frame, Steph Curry's already scored a 3. And then here's just one more clip from Jayson Tatum. He's isolated on Klay Thompson. He's thinking about making his move to the bucket. Credit to Klay, bodying him up well. But once again, a tough finish inside. His finishing around the rim has not been too good throughout this series so far. What stood out to you about the way the Warriors have defended Jayson Tatum and made him kind of struggle here in this series?
Well, I mean, this is just simple basketball one-on-one. That's not offense. That's just isolation basketball. So, if I was Coach Udoka and I was the team, I would say, here's the following. That's not Jayson Tatum's fault, and that's not Jayson Tatum's problem. That responsibility lies on the point guard, which is Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart has to do a much better job of getting the offense set. He's got to play at a much faster pace. Now, clearly, you can see here of watching this, they want to pick Steph Curry, which is great. That's excellent. However, every time you see, he'll see the other 4 guys. Now, what Golden State does, or what they're doing, is there are 2 players in particular that we know can't defend one-on-one isolation: Jordan Poole and Steph Curry. They feel that they have an advantage with those 2 guys, okay? On the other hand, Golden State, as we just looked at, they feel they have an advantage if they can put Al Horford. However, what Golden State is doing a much better job of, they're shrinking the court. Look at every time he catches the ball, look where all the other players are at.
Everyone's in the paint. Look, there's 4 players in the paint right there.
Yeah, see, this isn't if you throw the ball to Jayson Tatum is a natural scorer. He's going to score.
Well, in game 1, to his credit, he made a great job of facilitating for his teammates, whereas it's now looking like he's not looking at his teammates who are wide open, instead trying to get the ball going himself.
Okay, it's easier said than done. When you're playing in these games, these teams are making adjustments. Okay, game 1, Draymond wasn't guarding Jaylen Brown. Okay, see all of these little things. Okay, well, he passed it in game 1. Well, they're playing it different now. Every time you see it now, they're pushing him left. Why? Because if I'm playing against Jayson Tatum, look at Bjelica is pushing him left. Why? Because we want him to play and have to finish with his left. See, these are the things that I'm looking at. I'm not looking at like what he did in game. Who cares about game 1? It's game now. We're in game 5 coming up. So now, what is he doing? I haven't seen Jayson Tatum yet pass the ball with his left hand. It's not that we've watched what? These are like 4 clips.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking, going, okay. Every single time, is it an accident? No, there's no accidents out there. These guys are that detailed. Okay, if he's going to beat you, beat him left, someone is going to be there, and just don't let him finish with his right hand. It's not that he's not finishing, it's that he's not finishing with his left hand. Marcus Smart is not getting into the offense fast enough. So if you're going to, what I want is I want to put Bielitsa, I want to put Steph Curry, I want to put Jordan Poole on an island where I have 2 seconds with no help. That's clearly Marcus Smart. That's like me playing and I have a player that I know can score 30 points a night and I give him the ball and I just walk away from him.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So that's Marcus Smart. And we know, but now by watching this, that the Golden State Warriors, they're pushing him left. So his counter to that was searching for a foul, which it looks like he's not being aggressive, which is going to require him to do something I don't know if he can or can't. He's got to pass with his left hand. When he's going left, you can't pass with your right because they're playing you.
Yep, defenders on your right-hand side.
Okay, so now the coaches say, okay, here's what they're doing, Jayson. Marcus, instead of giving him the ball with 6 seconds to go, let's try to get it to where 10 seconds to go so that he can make what's called the hockey assist, right?
Yep.
Our producer, Matt, would love that, right? He would love that, the hockey assist, the pass that gets to the pass.
Yes.
Once that happens, now that will open up the court. Now that will give him more space. And now he will be able to have the matchup he wants. And right now, the Celtics have to utilize the principles of a sound offense. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're running, you have to utilize that principle so that you can counter whatever the defense is doing.
You know, I always say when they go through these stretches where everyone just stands around and watches Tatum or Brown go to work, it reminds me of when they were the bad team in the 10th seed earlier this year. And we've seen them turn this season around with a lot of ball movement, like you said, player movement, a lot of assists being racked up, and we've not seen a lot of that down the stretch in these last few games that the Celtics haven't been great in. Let's see if they can adjust their offense, get into their offense a little bit earlier to impress Mr. BJ Armstrong, maybe win this game, and who knows, potentially win this series.